The tools needed for this project are pipe joint compound, plumber's putty, Sharpie, a wire brush or two, channel locks, a reamer or deburring tool of some sort, screwdriver, and tubing cutters, or you can use a hacksaw. Hey, it's Danny the Plumber. Today I'm going to show you guys how to install all the plumbing underneath your kitchen sink. Beginning with the basket strainer. If you look here, there's no basket strainer in yet. I've already put the garbage disposal in. You can see that in my other video. You can see that's in. But I'm going to show you how to do the basket strainer, the tailpiece, the trap, the two-part waste, the nipple and the wall, how to get all that connected with your garbage disposal. So here we go. I'm going to first start with, and you guys should also, is start with the basket strainer. I've got an easy mount sink basket strainer. This one's pretty easy to install. I'll show you how to do it right now. There are the directions. Okay, so this is almost the same as the garbage disposal. We'll take our plumber's putty here and we'll roll it up like this. So this is just the seal, seals the water, doesn't let it go through to underneath the sink. No. Gonna sit just like this right in here. You want to push it down pretty hard, let some of the putty seep out. Okay, so from underneath now, we're going to install this guy. And that's done like this. First, the rubber gasket goes underneath. Then this one goes with the grooves facing you. And you can start by screwing this one down. And go as far as you can hand tight and finish it off by screwing these guys down. There's a little groove here for a screwdriver, or you can do it with a wrench, like a channel lock. Like that. So you want to go pretty far down on these. And you want to do it equally. You don't want to screw one all the way up and go to the next one and it's not even. Keep it pretty even. And this thing needs to be pretty tight. Okay, so now that the basket strainer is nice and tight, you'll see up above the plumber's putty kind of seeped out. That's what you want to see, and it's all under there with a nice seal now. So you just take that and reuse it. Basket strainer's in, ready to go. That part's done. Okay, so now the basket strainer's in. What I like to do next, the next step, is to put the nipple, which is just a short piece of pipe, into the wall. If you look down here, there's what's called a sanitary tee inside the wall, and that part's threaded. And so what you'll see underneath the sink is just a small piece of 1.5-inch pipe that'll go in there, thread real easily, and your trap will go onto that. So I'm going to show you how to do that the right way. You want to first start off by cleaning your nipple with the wire brush. And this gets any debris out of the thread, so it gets a nice seal. You also want to clean the inside of the pipe there on the threads. Then you'll take your pipe joint compound. We call it plumber's putty. We call it pipe dope. Once you got it hand tight as far as you can go, continue on. You have a pipe wrench, it's a little easier, but it also can be done with channel locks like this. So once my 1.5-inch nipple is in the wall, you can put a 1.5-inch chrome-plated flange on there to cover it, to make it look nice. In this case, I'm not going to do it because we've got a pretty big angle and it's not going to sit real nice. So I'm going to leave that out, but if it comes out straight on the wall, put a flange, make it look nice. So the next steps are to put the tail piece in, the trap, and the 2-part waist. And all these kind of go together. You kind of have to play with them to get it in there. And this is what I mean. I'll show you how to do it. So we'll take our tail piece, and our tail piece gasket sits right in there. This is a tail piece gasket, 1.5-inch tail piece gasket, sits right on the top. And that thing goes to your basket strainer, which is right here. And I'll sit like that. I'm not going to tighten it completely down with my channel locks yet, and I'll show you why. You kind of have to take your trap. This is a 1.5-inch brass trap. I'm doing all this in brass. You guys can do it in plastic. Plastic's just as good. It's much cheaper, but today I'm going to do it in brass. This is a brass tube trap or tubular trap. So, this slip joint nut goes on this side. There's no slip joint washer that's needed. This is the seal on this part. So we'll put that down there. We'll put this slip joint washer on that side with the washer nut with the washer like that. This part goes into the nipple you've already installed into the wall. Then you'll take your slip joint nut, and once again, we're just going to hand tighten it. As you can see, the trap and the cabinet are very close. The rough-in plumber didn't rough it in high enough, Actually, it wasn't changed. When they installed the new cabinets, the piping in the wall wasn't changed. But because they poured new tile on the ground, everything kind of came up. But that's okay, we're gonna work with it. The trap goes in like this, kind of just sits right there. And you wanna line the trap up with this. And so the way that's done is moving this guy in and out. And this has the ability to swing like this, the trap. So we can just kind of line it up right now, approximately where it goes. And everything is just hand tight because we're just kind of getting a feel where everything's gonna go. Now we need the 2-part waste. And that simply is just a T that connects the garbage disposal and the other side of the sink piping. So I've got a brass one today, 2-part waste. That comes with that stuff there. And they give an extra long one because sometimes your sinks are far apart. This is a little special sink. They're real close together. Kind of a modern sink. The 2 outlets, the 2 drains are real close. Sometimes there'll be one over here and one here, so you'll need an extra long one. But this one's real short. Alright, so to install the 2-part waste, we're going to do it like this. 2-part waste comes in these parts. We're going to have to thread this in later with some pipe joint compound and get it nice and tight, but we're doing everything by hand only right now. I'm going to show you guys how this is all done. So we want to first drop this guy into the trap here while the trap is kind of slid over. Alright, so once that's in, we can slide it up into that position there. See how that works? Boom, boom. So once again, like that. I don't have my nuts and washers on yet. I'm just doing this to show you how it's done. So we can go like that. Boom. I'll get these on. Okay, so I'm getting the subjoint nut and washer on, and this should be done, the washer needs to be going downward. It's kind of beveled inward, so the bigger part is on top. It goes like this. We'll put it in, still just hand tight. I'll just kind of screw this in, and I'm doing all this to get my measurement for when I need to cut. Sometimes you'll need to cut the tail piece here to a certain size, and you can do that with a hacksaw, or if you have a tubing cutter, great, that also works. So that sits there. Now to get this measurement, it's really not that hard. Slide it in there, and without even taking a tape measure or anything, this garbage disposal still can be moved right here. It's not locked in place. This trap, the 2-part waste outlet, the T on it can still move. It's only hand tight. And I'll get an approximate measurement by looking how far this thing goes in. And this thing goes in right to this line here. If you can see it, the pipe will sit right at that line. So we'll take this, I'll get with my Sharpie where it goes, I'll put a mark on it. Goes about right there. You see that? And we'll cut this, throw this part out, we don't need it. And that'll go right in there, and we're done. I'm going to cut today with my tubing cutter. You guys can use a hacksaw or a Tiny Tim, any kind of blade will work just fine. It's important to also ream this. This is a reamer, and this gets all when you cut a pipe, it leaves kind of a beveled edge to it, and food can get caught in there and stuff. So what we'll do is we'll take that edge and we'll just totally remove it so it's flat. See, I get that out of it. It's nice and smooth now. Okay, so I got myself 1.5 inch slip joint nuts and washers because the package didn't include enough for the hookup for the garbage disposal, but you guys can buy those separately, just get a couple extra. And to do the last part, we'll do a little dry run first, see if it all fits together. Looks pretty good right there. So now we'll take this nut with the washer, slide it up in there. Do the same for this guy. Put it in here first. Okay, now the 1.5 inch 2-part waist, trap, and tailpiece are all together, hand tied only. So now that I know that it's all gonna fit and I've got my stuff cut down to the right length, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it all apart, put pipe joint compound where it's needed, and tighten everything, all the nuts, with a channel lock. Alright, now that I've tightened it all down with channel locks, I want you guys to see where I put the pipe joint compound. And I only put it in 2 places. Number 1, there's some threads on this 2-part waist, the bottom of it. And you saw in the video how I threaded that in to there and quickly tightened it with some channel locks. But you need pipe joint compound on those threads. And the second place is on this reverse side of the trap arm right here. It's a real smooth surface. And you can see in the video where I put it on the underside of this. The only two places it needs the pipe joint compound, the rest are sealed with the slip joint nut and the slip joint washer. That's how the rest are sealed. So now the only thing left to do is test this. You definitely want to run some water to make sure you don't have any leaks. So run the water here, and I'm running it on the left side, so that means I'm checking this joint here, this connection, this connection, this connection, this connection here, all the way back, and even into the wall, that nipple. So that all looks good. I don't see any water. I'll switch the water to the right side of the sink, and now I'm checking this connection here, which I did a garbage disposal earlier, and here and here. I don't see any water. But I'm not done yet. What I like to do is I like to fill both sides of the sink with water. Fill them all the way up, and then let them go and test it. Let all the water flood out at one time. And even if you have a garbage disposal hooked up, flip the switch of the garbage disposal. Obviously I can't do it right now. And let the garbage disposal rattle and shake, and to see if you've got any leaks. It's a good test, because underneath, if there's any small vibrations that'll cause one of your joints to leak, you can fix it right away. Alright, so now that I've got the sink halfway filled, or more than halfway filled, I'm going to pull the plug on both sides and check for leaks. I'm going to do them both at the same time, go under the kitchen sink and look for leaks. I'm looking for leaks on all of the joints. Here, 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 everywhere that I've worked on, including up in here. So far, so good. You also want to make sure you look for the leaks way back in the wall, back there where you screw the nipple into the wall. Everything looks good. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. If there's any project you want me to do, comment below and I'll try to do it for you and show you how it's done. Thank you very much.